Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the opportunity that given to me. So I would like to introduce myself. My name is NIZA HANIM and I'm from Senior High School 3 PUTRA BANGSA Lhoksukon. So I would like to deliver our arguments. The argument is this House prefers the strategy of pushing for institutional reform to address police abuse and misconduct rather than defunding the police. The definition of the motion is institutional reform is the process of reviewing and restructuring state institutions so that they respect human rights, preserve the rule of law, and are accountable to their constituents. And defund the police is a slogan that supports divesting funds from police departments and reallocating them to non-policing forms of public safety and community support, such as social service, youth service, housing, education, healthcare, and other community resources. So, the whole definition is, this House prefers the strategy of pushing for the process of the reviewing and restructuring state institutions so that they respect human rights, preserve the rule of law, and are accountable to their constituents. And misconduct rather than a slogan that supports divesting funds from police departments and reallocating them to non-policing forms of public safety and community supports such as social service, youth service, housing, education, healthcare, and other community resources. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to deliver my own argument. For them, the state budget for public security is better spent on housing, public health, education, job creation, and other vital programs than on the budget for police in law enforcement. On one hand, the bearers of this claim believe that its public service can be improved so that all citizens can access their basic needs, then crime will also be reduced. They believe that a larger social budget for empowering citizens will reduce the conditions that allow crimes such as poverty, unemployment, mental illness, and homelessness. On the other hand, this demand can also be kind of pressure on the police to reform itself so that it truly becomes a public service apparatus, no longer acting arbitrarily on behalf of law enforcement as in the George Floyd murder case. However, the substance on target of these demands varies. Some just demand a reduction or a cut, while others want a complete stop. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a real change. That's why we must stop investing in police and incarceration and instead intentionally invest in alternative models that are centered in community and address the root cause of harm. In addition to making greater investment in safe methods, healthcare, and other human needs that keep our community safe. So next, ladies and gentlemen, here is why we should all support the call to defund the police. First, policing in the US was established to maintain white supremacy. The police are not a natural body, and the institution is inherently biased. In the US, slave patrols and night watches were the beginning of a racially directed system of law enforcement designed to secure capital for white settlers. Over the past 50 years, the expansion of racially targeted policing and policies such as stop and freeze in the war on drugs have helped a full mass incarceration in the US, with African Americans incarcerated at more than 5 times the rate of white people. The second is, policing doesn't keep us safe. Despite the billions of dollars spent every year on policing, more than 50,000 people were killed by gun violence in 2019 alone, disproportionately young people of color. If policing and imprisonment stop violence, the US would be the most peaceful country in the world. But decades of evidence show us this is not the case. 16. We believe in everyone's right to live in safety and peace. We need to dismantle institutions that we never intended to get us there and free up resources for solutions that are actually designed to create healthy, safe, sustainable communities. And the third, body cameras, training, and other so-called reform measures will not end cycles of police violence. by police and do not result in less violent behavior while increasing surveillance of those being policed. Trainings on implicit bias for police have shown no demonstrable effect. In fact, Chicago, it was found that officers accused of abuse were leading the training. Community policing, the idea that if police and community work together, there will be more trust in the police doesn't work either. The practice disputes white and wealthy community members to surveil the neighbors, resulting in even more police actions based on racist attitudes and beliefs. Meanwhile, police murders continues with 400 people killed by police already this year. Fourth, policing diverts billions of dollars from school, healthcare, and other vital programs that need more funding to strengthen our communities and support shared well-being. U.S. cities collectively spend $100 billion a year on policing, while needed investment in education, healthcare, housing, and other critical programs go unfulfilled. Particularly in poor communities and communities of color, New York City, for instance, spends more on policing than it does on the Departments of Health, Homeless Service, Housing Preservation and Development, and Youth and Community Development combined. Our tax dollar must be reallocated from this system that regularly murders black people with impunity and instead invested in programs that strengthen on our community. So, ladies and gentlemen, based on my argument and the reason why we should support all the call to defund the police, I, from the opposition side of the House, strongly disagree with this motion. Thank you.